How often are we telling ourselves good stories? Very often we actually scare ourselves with bad stories that we are so good at creating. Where are all those ideas or thoughts coming from? We are so good at extracting all those information from our memories, from our past experiences, from the stories that we heard from other people, which from very young age we just download it from our parents, grandparents, friends that we are with our auntie, uncles, cousins. All those become our back-end stories. That when something happened, we just go back in there into the memory, extract it, and then try to make sense of things. And a lot of times those stories are scary stories. And it's not helping us much in making us feel good about ourselves. How often we've been told that we are not good enough, we are not pretty enough, we are not smart enough, we are not slim enough. Our hair is probably like my hair is too short. I should have long hair so I look more feminine. Yes, I heard many stories that doesn't actually make me feel good, but I faithfully believe in them. The end result is that I was never happy. So as long we are still living or believing all those stories we created in our mind, it's actually pretty challenging for us to step up and moving forward, because our stories will always keep us small and keep us stuck at where we are. My question to you is that, do you want to see something a little bit different, a little bit more abundant? You do look beautiful, because those so-called perceptions or judgmental way of seeing things, coming from people, yes, is based on their story, how they see you, and honestly nothing to do with us. But we are just so good at just take it in as, yes, I am. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. So for us to actually move away from all this so-called negativity, expectation of others, is actually allow us to change the story in our head. Not story that is given by others people to us, but the story in our head. What do we actually believe in ourselves? What are the story that we create in our head that actually make us feel good? Checking with those stories. Because those stories is basically what turn out to be your belief. And what we believe is what we're going to feel, and we're going to take action. Or the action or the reaction will come from that space of believing. If you believe that you're good enough, you will feel good enough. If you believe that you're not good enough, you wouldn't be satisfied. And you will constantly try to get acknowledgement or assurance from others people, which, and we know that is pretty hard, right? Because they have their own story in their head. Yes, we tend to measure based on what we understand and what we perceive is true, but is it really true? So my question for you is that, what story are you creating in your head right now that actually make you feel good about yourself, make you feel happy, worth it, and good enough? This is Elaine's Life is Super Good. The story we have in our head is the one that creates our reality. So checking with that. What are you actually thinking? What are the stories that you have?